Hi there, and welcome to Let's Play Super Turrican 2. We are the Timeshitters. I'm Ben.
And I am Jack.
And yeah, today we're doing a game from my childhood, a bit of a blast from the past. So I've included the opening cinematic. Jack's never seen this, so...
Nope, I've never seen this game before.
We've got a small star system floating in the endless spiral arms of a black hole, kind of like the episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, the one with the Vincent van Gogh, that one.
One with a black hole. So the menacing hordes of the machine are about to invade.
And it's up to Vincent van Gogh to save the day. Is that the idea? Is that Vincent?
You're thinking of Super Van Gogh 2 on the.
Looks like Galactus.
I always think that, and what he does is destroys civilizations in an instant, much like Galactus from Silver Surfer. So yeah, this is the main bad guy. Who has a ridiculous helmet. Much like most of the characters in this game, as everyone seems to have ridiculous helmets. This is the I think it's the USS Avalon, although it looks like the VSS Avalon in that font, for the United Freedom Forces. So basically, it's sort of classic Space Marines type thing. There's a big enemy, threat to the galaxy, they're evil. So
it's up to Vincent to.
No, it's up to. I think he's. I can't even remember what the character's called now.
This is my revenge for the fun pack, sort of.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is. They send these 3 ships with.
Is that it?
Full of soldiers into this black hole, which is on the edge of their galaxy. I assume it's meant to be some sort of wormhole that takes them to where they need to go. But I think that animation's really nice. Actually, they look.
Yeah.
The cinematics look really good for a.
Ooh, that's very flash for a SNES game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
So what is Turrican? What does that refer to?
I think it's the. I should have looked this up. I think it's like the armor and stuff, or it certainly says you have a Turrican attack suit thing. It says in the second actually. By the damage from burning, your shipwreck hurtles towards the devastated June world. I guess that's the first world. It's about 4 or 5 levels in each world.
So the environments are going to be quite varied then throughout the game.
Your Turrican assault suit. So I don't know if Turrican is like the group of people who are like fighting them, or
the brand.
The brand. I don't know. So that was me using a save state there just to save the level. That's why it's running slowly. So here we are, this is the first level, so you can run, shoot. I'll pretty much be shooting all the time because you've never got a reason not to. So you start with the assault rifle, which spreads out, and I also picked up the missiles.
Quite effective, I mean, look at that, it's got a good spread on it.
Yeah, it's probably my favourite weapon to use. You get the missile power up, which means you can kind of see when I fire, there's these little missiles that just sort of home in on the nearest enemy. They're not very powerful, but they are very accurate, so they're useful for hitting things like that fly above you, for instance.
So this is nice, because it kind of reminds me of Contra, except you've got quite a lot of, well, you can take some hits basically without cursing.
It's fairly forgiving. I mean, there's some fairly tough platforming later on in the game, but I mean, it's a very varied game, and I think it looks really good. Like, it's very post-apocalyptic, which I find mildly depressing. But
I don't know. I like this background. It does convey the heat and sort of desertness of this Dune world. So
there I'm using one of the other powers Turrican has. It's freeze ray. You can use that unlimitedly, and you can shoot in any direction. And yeah, that's sort of the end of the first gunning section of the first level. Now you're in this little car.
So this is like on rails. Like you're moving regardless. So
you're always moving forward. You can move sort of to left and right of the screen, which helps you grabbing the gems. If you get 30 gems, it's a 1-up.
Oh, that's good.
Again, those missiles, I'm shooting those, they're not firing automatically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I instinctively just hold fire in this game. So yeah, and I've gone past several of the power-ups, so what I'll do with those later. So yeah, you get the freeze ray, you get your basic guns. I'll move into the power-ups on the second level. So what you're meant to do with these sections, and this took me a long time to work out as a kid, you're meant to jump on them, so you can see I'm doing there, although I cocked up several of the first few.
Alright, so I've been watching this and I thought this is you just being clumsy, but you are actually doing that on purpose.
No, you can't genuinely. I think you can jump over them actually.
Yeah.
But I think they just come back. I'm not sure. But the only way to properly kill them, really, you can eventually kill missiles, but there's no way.
It just takes too long.
So I make an amazing jump there to the top and get that health pickup.
So these boxes things just spawn health for a bit.
They're just sort of power-up capsule things. So I get the rebound laser there, which is useful for this, which is the first boss.
Ooh.
Which is a sort of.
It's like a wall. What is that?
I don't really know. The enemies like some of there's some levels which are just boss fights, and the instruction manual has descriptions of those, so I'll try and hunt those down. I think I've still got the instruction manual actually.
Well, it seems like there's sort of a tower, and there's like obviously like a thing that's just rising and falling behind it, using the wall as protection.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a difficult first boss really. Like those falling parts of it do quite. I think we take off 3 blocks of health, which is
quite a lot.
But it goes down fairly quickly. The rebound, as I say, is a good weapon to use. The spread shot's okay, but since you can only hit the moving part of it, the rebound's good because you can just fire at the wall and you'll definitely hit it.
Right.
So yeah, I got my 30 gems there, which gets me a 1-up.
Do you get the 1-up at the end of the level, or do you get it instantly?
You get it at the end of the level, so you have to survive. So now I'm getting, that was the missile power there. So now this is the next weapon you get, which is the laser. Which,
very pretty.
Yeah, it looks nice, and it's good just firing a death beam, basically.
So these enemies we're fighting here, I mean, obviously I don't expect you to know exactly, but are they, obviously there's some creatures that are like indigenous, but are these part of Galactus's minions, or are they native to the planet as well?
Like later on in the game, you sort of see more like conventional soldiers, which look like a bit like space pirates from Metroid.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to know. Like as a kid, I sort of interpreted them as just sort of like the patrol force of this
drones
sort of wasted
of this area, yeah.
city. Try and get health from this box, but there's not. It's just 2 rebound boosts. If you collect more of the same weapon, by the way, the shots get more powerful.
Do you have to do that consecutively? Say if you get another weapon, do you start from 1 effectively if you get that weapon again later?
Yeah, so sometimes it's better, even if you've got a better weapon, it's sometimes better to get 3 of a worse one, because you'll get a more powerful weapon.
Sure.
So I use the smart bomb here just because there's one to pick up there. They're pretty powerful. They use them with the X button, and they screen clear weak enemies, and they do a decent amount of damage against bosses. I generally try and save them for bosses when I'm on low health.
Sure.
But as you can see, the rebound's pretty much designed for this level. Like those mortar enemies are just easy to take out with it.
I mean, I know you've mentioned this before, but this game is very pretty, and the graphics are quite nice.
And then just cock up and fall down a pit.
That was a bit guiding.
You may have noticed also, I forgot to mention it earlier, there was very guiding, but we'll come to that later. So this is the last main weapon of the game, which is the flamethrower. It doesn't come up very often, and it's not brilliant because you can't fire it constantly. Like that me there was holding the button down, it stops after a couple of seconds.
Okay.
So you have this grab arm, which is necessary to navigate levels. A bit Bionic Commando.
I was thinking that.
So it can stretch to all sorts of lengths, and there's a whole platforming section you can't do without the grapple arm coming up.
Is it friendly, like to use, or is it finicky, or?
It's generally pretty good. Like it's just assigned to a shoulder button.
Okay.
And you can scale up and down. Not only you don't have to stop to do it like I did there, but like as I'm moving along, I can lower or extend it slightly with each grab.
Oh, I see.
So you can move it, but it works pretty well. So those shots get fired, so I move up. It works surprisingly well. It takes a bit of getting used to.
But it seems like you handled it quite well. It doesn't seem to be like giving you any trouble. Because, like, you know, I think it benefits from being a 2D game, because I mean, I've played like some of the 3D Rayman games, and having to grapple anything sort of freeform without any sort of homing targeting like built into the game is just annoying, basically. I
mean, it works. I mean, it's really well designed levels actually, like because you can use it in a lot of speedrunners or other such players. You can really abuse the grapple to like sort of fly through the levels.
Right.
But, it works well in sort of the specially designed sections like the one we just went through, but also it works. It works well for like in case you screw up a platform, like jump. Like I know I actually fell off it earlier, but if I grabbed when I died, but I got an extra chance at that jump sort of thing. Here I'm trying to remember how to activate the Metroid-esque rolly ball, which I suddenly remember is down and jump.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't know how to activate that for ages as a kid, even though I had the instruction manual. I never
Is there any limit on that? Or?
There's a green bar under your energy bar,
and
you get once that's drained, that's dead for the level. There's no way of recharging that until you finish that level.
So you have to be quite conservative with it if it's a big level. Or...
Yeah, I mean here's an example of when the grappling thing's a bit annoying, because I keep trying to turn round and then I bounce off. That makes me swing, so I bounce off the wall and fly into the enemy and almost die, but I managed to get health pick up here, I think. Yeah.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I mean it's very good for Like, it means you can go along the game at any pace, you know, so if you're unsure of the platform below, you can just grab onto a wall and then check what's below rather than having to jump into oblivion, like you do on other sort of...
So you can sort of tip your toe in the water, so to speak, and before you want to make the actual jump and commit to anything.
Yeah, these orange enemies, you've probably noticed by now, but you can kill them either by shooting them, or if you jump on them, they sort of make crazy noise and crash into you and go on the kamikaze into a wall like that one.
Well, I kind of like this, because with a lot of these sort of run-and-gun type like games, like Contra and stuff, it seems, and like Mega Man, it's like you can shoot until the cows come home, but God forbid you touch an enemy, even if like jumping on it would mean that they take damage and not you if you think about it.
Yeah, I always thought these gems that you pick up, I thought they looked like sort of a recolouring of crystals from the Crystal Maze. And I also thought or brains, those are quite a lot like brains, and the Smart Bomb logo in the bottom corner I think looks like a skull. I think it's going to be a mushroom cloud.
I think, yeah, mushroom cloud is what I'm getting from that.
So I've missed loads of gems. There's loads of places to explore on this level, like that bit where I was hanging across the pit with my arm. There's loads of gems and stuff down there, but this is the first boss anyway.
Wow, he's pretty badass looking, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty hard to beat actually for a second boss. Like,
yeah.
As you can see, like I keep getting hit because I try and go on the outside. So the best strategy is to have the spread shot on the missiles. That's why I was saving it. I missed a lot with the power-ups because you can sort of hit his arms a lot easier. So if you had, like, say, the laser with the rebound, which only fire in a straight line, I mean, the rebound bounces off stuff, but there's no walls here. He's a lot harder to beat. But basically, if you just stay between
stay underneath him, basically between his legs.
Yeah, that's
those
the best
lower
strategy.
arms. So do you have to take out the arms separately, or is it just the... Ooh, he's changing his strategy there.
Yeah, now he does his mashing attack, so just run back and forth with him when you can. Any contact on him will cause damage, so you can just shoot one arm and it'll damage the other, like the arms come off in order, and that's the end of the level, so
awesome.
I do a bit of a victory roll, and you can lay mines as well.
Very Metroid then.
So, yeah, that was the first couple of levels of Super Turrican 2. I got 2 1-ups there, I could have got 3. There's always like around a number of 30 gems in each level, so we'll see you for part 2 of Let's Play Super Turrican 2.
Indeed, see you then.